Hey there, I'm Kimberly Ferguson, CEO and founder of Emerald Expectations Accounting. I am so happy that you're here. The Emerald Corner is a place where life and business meet, so we want to share with you the process of running a business while maintaining a life with your loved ones. Today, we interrupt your regularly scheduled broadcast for some real talk. Yep. I spend a lot of time on this channel sharing the ins and outs of owning a small business, right? And I think I do a pretty good job of trying to encourage you throughout the journey of being an entrepreneur. But today I want to get real with you. So please excuse the slightly different format of this video. Today, I want to share with you some hard truths that come along with being a small business owner. And I truly believe that these truths are going to apply to everyone here who owns their own small business. Unfortunately, these are the less than pleasant side of owning a small business. I think sometimes these things can be overlooked and not talked about, so that's why we're here today. This is going to be a series that we'll do periodically on this channel, so if you are in need of someone who genuinely shares the pitfalls or has the tough conversations with you, I've got you. Let's jump in. So number one is it's going to be lonely. Okay, sometimes unbearably so. People are not going to understand. Okay, I mean, friends are not going to understand that you can't come out because you have literally no time to do things that you want to do. People aren't going to understand what it's like to have $0 in the bank, zero, and not knowing how you're going to pay your next bill or your mortgage. They're not going to understand the inner conflict that you feel where you really want to hire someone so badly to take off the load, but you just can't afford it because either you can't afford to pay them or you just don't have any time to train someone to do what you're doing. There are so many instances where people who aren't in small business are just never going to get it. And they're probably going to judge you for all of these situations. They're going to judge you for not coming out with them. They're going to call you a bad friend. They're going to say that, you don't want to be there for them or whatever that looks like. And unfortunately, there are going to be people who aren't going to support you in your business. They're either going to be jealous because, you've got something they want, or because you're spending less time with them, or just because people don't like it when other people rise above them. They like having people at their level or below. So unfortunately, it's going to show you who your real friends are when you start your business. That's just a sad truth of life. Number two is it's going to be unbelievably hard. It's going to test your faith. It is 100% not for the faint of heart. But again, that doesn't mean that it's not worth it. It doesn't mean that it's not worth putting in the effort to grow this business that's yours. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to be kind of doing the work anyways if you're working for someone else. But it is going to be hard, and it is going to require a lot of work. So number three is there is a reason that 50% of small business owners don't make it past year 5 and 70% don't make it past year 10. The biggest reason is cash flow. A lot of people have a hard time figuring out how the cash flows in their business, how to keep money coming in, how to manage their expenses, how to, be realistic about what kind of money you're spending in your business and, still being able to grow your business and pay yourself and do all these things. It's a lot to work out, right? So number 4 is it's going to challenge all of your relationships. We touched on this a little bit, number 1. People aren't going to understand at all, and it's hard sometimes. And also, just a side note, money concerns are like the number 1 reason for divorce these days. So that's one big challenge that this will probably have is your relationship with your spouse or your significant other if you have one. Number 5, I talked on this one a little bit too, but it is a lot of work. If you came into this business because you're really good at doing something, which is the case for most people, you probably, already had a job doing this. So that's great. But the thing is that was a full-time job, right? So doing your job is a full-time job. But now you also have to, run the business. You have to take care of sales. You have to take care of bookkeeping. You have to take care of paying the bills. And you have to take care of sending the invoices and all that stuff, making sure that people are actually paying you on time like they said they would, sending out contracts or engagement letters and, going out and meeting new people to take on, your services and all that stuff. Now add that to your already full-time job, and you can imagine how much work is involved in a small business. And obviously you start out small, so it is a little bit easier in the beginning, a little bit more something you can handle. But as you grow, you can imagine that it just multiplies and multiplies. So it is a lot of work, and it is hard. Number 6 is there's a lot of pressure. Not just from other people, but there's a ton of pressure from other people, right? People who have told you that you're not going to succeed, maybe. People who just think it inside their heads. People who are judging you. They're all thinking and, putting outside pressure on you to succeed, right? And of course, you're it. So if your business fails, you can't really blame anyone else, right? If you can't make it work, then you couldn't make it work. And that's a lot of pressure from yourself too. And probably your family and your friends and everyone else, right? Number 7 is your business is a reflection of you. So not only does that mean that you have to really care about what other people think and what other people say, because your reputation is your business, but also when people reject your business, it feels like they're rejecting you, and that hurts, right? Again, we kind of talked about this one, but number 8 is the expectations are enormous. Okay, so people expect you to give away everything for free, right? People are going to ask you for free advice all the time. They're going to come to you and say, hey, in this situation, what would you do? And even if that's something that you normally charge people for, they're going to ask for free. It doesn't matter. And then if you don't give it to them for free, they're going to get mad at you. And let's be honest, you're probably going to lose friends over this. And you kind of have to be okay with that. I mean, obviously, in reality, they probably weren't a great friend to begin with, but that's kind of a hard thing to wrap your head around, right? Number 9 is hiring is really hard. Hiring is kind of like building your own car with your bare hands and then letting a stranger take it for a drive. I mean, your business is like your new baby. Imagine handing your brand new baby off to somebody that you just met, or maybe you've interviewed for an hour. It's hard, right? You have to learn to hold things loosely whilst also, making sure that you're giving the value that you said you were going to give and keeping the level of service where you told people that it was going to be. And it's a tricky balance for sure. Number 10 is you can get serious tunnel vision. You've got a one-track mind. Here's the business. This is what I've got to do, and nothing else exists, right? So you can forget about the whole rest of the world, and you probably will for the first, year or two that you're in business. But hopefully, after 2 years, 3 years, you can kind of start to pull back and remember what the rest of the world looks like and remember how the rest of the world lives. And, maybe you can join them. And then number 11 is your fear can destroy your business. So if you are too afraid to do something important, imperative to your business, like meet new people, then that can destroy your business. If you're afraid of spending money because you're afraid that you won't have money, that can destroy your business because you have to spend money to make money. It's just one of those truths of running a business. I can think of a million examples, but your fears can destroy your business. But also your optimism can too. Like if you sit back here and you think at the end of the year, I'm going to make $100,000, but you don't have anything to back that up, like goals or, a method to getting there, then, it's most likely you're not going to get there. And then, you're going to be in trouble because you thought you were going to make $100,000 and you made 20 or whatever that looks like. So there's a good level of skepticism is important in business too. So, and then the last one, number 12, is your lack of financial knowledge can kill your business. I know this is a hard one for a lot of people because I think working with an accountant or working with a tax professional is something that probably kills people on the inside or makes them cringe at the very least. But if you don't know anything, and I mean know like you feel very confident in your knowledge of your financial situation or finances in general, including taxes and how to run a business, then I can't even emphasize how imperative it is that you find someone who does, because these are the things that destroy businesses. Seriously. I mean, about 80% of businesses that fail have failed because of their lack of financial knowledge and their inability to consider taxes or to consider how to, increase their cash flow or have profits or just keep track of their income and expenses, even basic things like that. If you don't have that knowledge, if you're not 100% confident, then you need to find somebody who does. And unfortunately, that stinks sometimes, because that means you have to spend money when you don't have it, or spend money where you wish you didn't have to spend money because you'd rather be spending it somewhere else. But if you find somebody who is knowledgeable, they are going to give you a return on investment that is beyond what you can comprehend right now, probably. If you hire a CFO, if you hire a tax planner or a tax strategist, those are the people who are going to, pay back your investment tenfold, because they're going to save you money. They're going to help you grow your profits. They're literally going to be your trusted financial partner. And then obviously that's hard to find, right? So you'll probably end up hiring the wrong person at some point in time, and it'll cost you, and that stinks. There's another bonus hard truth there for you. It stinks when you have to learn those hard lessons, right? But we all learn them, and hopefully you take that information and you make a better decision in the future. But I'm going to do another video too about how to find a good financial professional, so you can look forward to that in the future as well. If you think there are any other hard truths that apply to everyone in business, I would love to hear about them. Drop me a line in the comments below. I do also want to add this small caveat to the end of the video that yes, there are a ton of difficult things when it comes to owning your business. Like, too many to mention, right? But that absolutely does not mean it's not worth all the trouble. We'll talk about some of the more commonly overlooked positives in a future video, so stay tuned for that as well. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I know I'm still new with the whole YouTube thing, but I'd love to have your support as I work to support you on your journey of being a small business owner. So let's be in this together, shall we? As always, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next video.